Welcome to Pre-Match Mix, episode 19, guest number 5 this year, and we've got a true football nostalgia on this week. Internet at its best, star of Canny Farm 1990s, someone who got 6.5 million views, 285,000 likes, John, 1,816 comments, and believe it or not, John, 78,600 people forwarded your video on. So welcome, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all good. Yeah. I know it's crazy, isn't it? How something like that can go so big and in the future. Like it's just see. I've always known that the video was there on YouTube. I always knew it was there. So you just type my name in, and it just come up straight away. And it was just one of them funny things that you just show people and go, "Do you want to see something there funny as a kid and stuff like that?" But yeah, it's kind of took the Instagram by storm. There's a lot of people that can relate to it as well because that was old school football. That was how we remembered it. You know, the hustle and bustle, the up and down grass. You'd say you're out just running up and down the pitch. Never mind a full half hour, 40 minutes, however it was each half.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
How did you come across the Instagram one, John? Were you just scrolling, or did someone send you it?
No, so what happened is I was on my way out somewhere. I can't remember, and I just received a message from one of my old school mates from Facebook, and it was the video. And because there's been a few comments on the one on Facebook as well, so it's been uploaded onto there. And yeah, it was just funny. It was just funny, and then it was only till the next day after that someone had took it off Facebook. The guy who's shared it on Instagram, and what happened then? So then another one of my mates who I grew up with tagged me in it, and I was just keeping an eye on it, and it was just getting funnier and funnier, just the comments on it, and people who were well known actually played in that league as well, or are known to be around that area, so they're well aware of that league. And it was just funny just seeing all the comments come up saying, yeah, he used to play there and stuff like Rocky Fielding, and I'm not sure whether Lee Trundle as such played on Matt Blaine. He was more kind of the Dons before he went on to. I'm not sure whether he was at Tranmere before Swansea, but he obviously went on to Swansea and become like a bit of a star over there. But yeah, that's all I would come about. I was just getting tagged left, right, and centre from it. It was funny.
Yeah, you know what I loved about it when I watched it as well, John? It is, as you said there, it's proper football, isn't it? And what I loved about watching you on that clip was the way the ball comes across, you slow it down and you speed it up, don't you? Sort of bring them in. And there's a little bit of afters after it. And I think the people on the line as well, all the parents, normally nowadays, if someone falls over, they're up in arms, and not on the move, did they? Not on the move, everyone just carries on watching.
So that's got a lot of comments. Obviously, you've read through most of the comments on there, if not all of them. And it's funny actually because nowadays it would be absolute chaos on the pitch if that was to happen, and two young boys were to square up with each other. The parents end up fighting in the car park or something afterwards. And literally everyone would just stand on the side. But I think everyone kind of knew I had a bit of a short fuse as well. I was a bit of a hothead in my younger days, but I think it was just all through kind of, I don't know, just growing up, just being a small person. Like I used to have to defend myself a lot, so I think I was kind of, that was me the deflection from it, you know, and to kind of look after myself a little bit more. And obviously, my dad was always telling me, you need to be a little bit more looking after yourself on the pitch and stuff. You're only small. These people are going to be bigger than you, so you need to be either faster or a bit stronger with them. And obviously, I was one of them who never took anything. I was more serious on the pitch. let's put it that way. Like, if that was to happen to me, then obviously they'd probably be a little bit after this. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But it was normal back then, John, wasn't it? Where if you played football at that age, at that level, or even with your mates, nowadays, one of the things I notice, I walk around Liverpool and stuff, John. You don't see much kids playing footy in the street or not no more, do you?
No, so that's another thing actually. It's like I was talking to someone about it the other day. Like we used to always have a game of catch It's just like a heads and volleys,
Yeah,
also known as. And we used to play it all the time. Wherever there was a brick wall or any shutters, we'd have a game of
yeah,
heads and volleys. You don't see it no more. But I think that's the thing nowadays in the area, coming off subject, with youth clubs and stuff like that. You don't see none of them anymore either. And that's why, obviously, everything's kind of like got, I don't know, politically serious, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, yeah,
there's just nothing no more, nothing for the kids no more in terms of footy and stuff like that either. I don't think,
yeah.
not from when I was younger.
Yeah, we were the same. We used to play every day, every night. But as you said, whenever you seen a shutter or a gate, and you'd play with your heads and volleys or whatever it might be. And when you look back on the clip, what are your memories of playing footy back then, John?
I used to love it. I used to love it. I think I'm not sure whether it was on that clip, but I have actually got a photo of myself with actually a broken arm. We'd play with all kinds of injuries, all kinds. Well, I remember someone coming in for a tackle. I think we were playing someone like the Spinny, and someone come in at the back of me, and I was literally after the tackle, I was hobbling about, and the manager wanted to bring me off. I mean, I was like, fuck off, you're staying on. Don't you dare come off this pitch. And there's me hobbling around, still trying my best. You know what I mean? But I think just the determination was so much more back then, and than what I think it is now. Like I take my girlfriend's daughter to football every week. Obviously, the girls' game is probably a little bit different to the boys. Boys are obviously a bit more aggressive and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's what I liked about it back in the day as well. Aggressive. I think the only reason why I ended up going to football was because I had too much energy to burn.
yeah. To burn it off playing.
Yeah, so me, so I think my mum actually asked me dad to bring me to football. I think on that I was
Yeah,
9 years old, nearly 10. So I think that must have been like my first or second season.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think the determination back then. But I used to play on a Saturday as well, Saturday and a Sunday
yeah.
league. One on Springfield by where Old Ray Hospital is now.
Mm.
But I used to love it. I used to absolutely love it. I do miss it loads. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
they don't even wear shinnies now, John.
No, I know. I've seen them. I seen a picture the other day, and it was like a little tiny square thing
Like a
on the
sponge.
shit. I know. It's like,
You know what?
wow.
It sounds bad saying this, but you're almost not happy when they get injured. But if someone kicks them on the shin, now you're almost thinking
Yeah,
you
said you're
should
right.
wear shinies, shouldn't you?
Well, I used to wear the ones that used to have the ankle supports on as well.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
used to
on the
be heavy.
side.
They used to be heavier than my boots. Used to be going around dragging my feet. I don't know how
And
I was that fast.
yeah, when did you stop playing then, John?
So I must have stopped playing when I was about 16. So what happened with me was I was getting looked at by a lot of by a lot of professional teams. I was playing for Knowsley Schoolboys at the time, and what happened there was I don't know whether I mixed in with the wrong crowd as such, but my friends used to smoke in school. And
Mm,
the teacher come back at the back of the sports hall, and I was amongst them. Don't know whether I was smoking at that time or I might have been having a go of it. And he's ended up phoning Knowsley Schoolboys on me. And um, what happened there? So they told me not to come back. And I
did they?
think I had trials for Liverpool at the time. And Knowsley got in touch with Liverpool and they told me not to bother turning up for the
Yeah,
trial either. Yeah. So I think it had a knock on effect. So I think I just kind of threw the towel in there and then I even stopped playing for the school.
did you?
Yeah, because
It's
of that.
so hard at that age, John, as well, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, well, I think my size was a big thing back then because obviously everyone was always looking at size of players. I was only small. I still am. I like you don't see many small players now.
No,
But
it's funny, isn't it? Because it's came back into the game again, hasn't it? You know, with Arsenal and set pieces and all that. It seems to be where we went through a spell with Messi and other players where people got small and it was okay, but the size seems to be coming back into it. I seen the Leeds manager start of the season. He said last time he was in the Premiership at Norwich, they went down. He said this season he's going to buy quite a lot of big players, and he did. That's what he's done.
well, I know a guy who he does scouting for Everton. And I
Mm.
was talking to him the other day about it because my nephew's pretty good at football and he's getting watched by a lot of teams as well. And I showed him a picture and he went, I do recognise him. But what we go off is size, shape, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So they probably would have looked at me and gone, he's not tall enough.
Mm.
But I was banging in 50 goals a season.
Yeah.
On in a league, I could score. I was scoring like 6 goals in one match at one stage. It was in the Pink Echo. If you remember the Pink
Yeah.
Echo,
I love the pink. I thought it was brilliant.
so my nan to this day still got like a little snippet of me, Dooley with a 6 goal thriller or something like that. I can't think what it was exactly, but yeah, it was a thing back then, like the Pink Echo.
And is it Everton you support? I see on the Instagram Everton on there, John.
Everton, yeah. So I don't really go to the matches anymore. I think from last season, well, I'd say previous 5 years, I've not been to an Everton match.
Yeah.
I don't think I can justify paying that much money to walk out the ground disappointed.
Yeah.
It's not for me, that. I think the last game I went to was against Rotherham in the FA Cup, and we won 3-1. And I walked out when we were 2-1 up. But I walked out because I was that disappointed. Not so much with the football on the pitch, the
What you
atmosphere was
paid?
in the ground. Well, no, not even how much we paid, because it was cheaper to be in the FA Cup. It was more the atmosphere. I've been a match and the atmosphere's been absolutely incredible. But then when I went that time, I think there was Rotherham, and then there was one before that where Calvert-Lewin scored the driving header. I can't think who it might have been. Burnley
Mm.
scored the driving header against them, and even then, the atmosphere was terrible, and I was walking
Yeah.
out disappointed, even though we won. I mean, this season we've been pretty good. But to what was expected of us. So
Are you glad Moyes is back then?
I was one of them who wants them back. I
Yeah.
think he gets us as a club, and I think he gets us as fans.
Yeah.
That two main things for success, I think, in a club, and I think if anyone was going to do it, it's going to be Moyes all day long.
Yeah. We're Liverpool fans on this pod, John, but what I like about Everton at the moment, I like he's put a little bit of energy in the midfield. So he's got what's his name, Dewsbury Hall, hasn't he? And he's got
Yeah.
the lad they got from Man United, Garner, and that guy. So he looks like he's got a bit of energy in there now, doesn't he?
I think what Moyes tries to do is he tries to, when he's buying players or looking at players, he likes players to play in different positions.
Yeah.
A bit like Phil Neville kind of thing, where he can play right back, left back, into the midfield if he needs to. And
Yeah.
I think that's the good thing about Moyes. He always finds that player who can play in different positions. So if we get injuries like Everton are known for getting terrible injuries that keep them out for 4 or 5 months at a time, then I think that's what we need at this moment in time, especially while we're trying to build. Because
Yeah.
obviously we've got Dewsbury all there now. We've got Pickford in goal, Bramthwaite in defence. We've got a team to build around.
Yeah.
We obviously, everyone knows we need 2 strikers. 100% we need 2 strikers. Them two are nowhere near good enough at all. If it was me, I'd try that little Chelsea player who we just got. Bang him up front, because the other
Yeah.
two are not doing anything anyway.
He's quick in as well, isn't he? When he's
He's
come
very
off the bench
fast.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks quite lively, doesn't he?
he does. And I think that the last couple of times when he's come on, he's looked lively, and he should have started, in my opinion. But I don't know. Obviously, Moyes is Moyes, isn't he? He'll do what he thinks, and 9 times out of 10, he's right in what he does.
So where do you think Everton will finish this season? And where do you reckon, John?
Do you know what? Do you know, if I was the owners, I was kind of like, I was a bit baffled in January, actually, because the owners surely must have looked at us and thought, "Do you know what, we're in a decent position here. We should go after this Europe." But then if you look at it again, they could turn around and go, "Well, look, we might spend this money and we might not actually get there. So it would just be a waste just to buy a player that may not do anything." Do you know what I mean? But if I was the owners, I would have thought they would have pumped a bit of money into the club just to get us 2 strikers at least. Maybe a right back as well. just to give us that little boost to get us into Europe. But I still think Europe's not out of the question. I still think that we can still do Europe. Looking at our fixtures for the last few games, it's going to be very tough for us to get into Europe. I think if we can get, well, what have we got? 9 games left. I think if we can try and get about 15 points from there somewhere, I think we'll be all right.
You'd be
But
happy with that?
I'll be happy getting into Europe, yeah, 100%. I'll be happy getting into Europe this year. But
Yeah, I think that'd be a big achievement, that wouldn't it? Really, first real season back, isn't it, for Moyes as well?
yeah, yeah, I think there's a long way to go with us as well. Obviously, Grealish was a massive miss for us,
Mm.
but um, hopefully some other players can come out the woodwork and do something. I don't know what this Tyler Diblin's all about, but just Moyes just does not fancy him, does he, at all?
Yeah, you know what? I thought he was a brilliant prospect in at Southampton as well. Looked really good, but he hasn't really hit the ground running yet, has he?
Do you know what the worst thing is as well? For Everton to pay 45 million for a player, for me as a fan, I want to see him playing on that pitch, whether good or bad. You know what I mean? So I can make my own judgments on him, not the manager. But obviously he knows better than me. But
Yeah,
45 million for Everton to spend on a player, the Evertonians who I've spoke to, probably a little bit disgruntled the fact that he's not getting his game. Something must be happening there backstage.
yeah. But maybe again, maybe if he settles this season, a good pre-season, maybe you'll see the best of him next season. That might be the only hope, eh?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he does need that little bit more time. But I mean, I can't see him looking at the fixtures that we've got left. If he's not being played up to now, I can't see him having a huge role in the next few games coming. You know, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and Spurs still to play. Obviously Spurs not doing too good at the moment, but them last game of the season, if that was a fight for relegation place and a fight for Europe, I can guarantee Spurs are going to win. Do you know what I mean? Because that's just a typical Everton thing to do, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But looking at the games coming up, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get into Europe from now anyway.
Yeah, no, we'll see where they finish, but yeah, best of luck. Not too much luck with us being Liverpool fans, but we wish you the
Yeah.
best of
Uh,
luck.
that's the thing. I don't think Liverpool are actually doing much better at the minute, are they? Like they're really struggling,
Yeah,
and I don't know whether I mean I don't watch Liverpool matches as you can imagine, but I've seen quite a few highlights, and I'm just baffled by that Liverpool team. It's
yeah.
just, but for me, I think it's the kind of I think the substitutions are just weird.
And you know when things
The
aren't when things yeah when you're not winning as well, everything looks worse, doesn't it, John? So I think the
yeah.
substitutions, the style of play, being slow and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely agree with that, mate.
So we're all used to seeing Liverpool to be counter attack. Bam, 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 you're straight in that net
Yeah,
with two, three front guys. So obviously you had Salah, Firmino, and Mane.
yeah.
And then since Mane and Firmino's gone, I think Liverpool just don't look the same.
They missed them, don't they?
I think so, yeah, because
Yeah,
I used to love watching Liverpool. I'm not gonna lie, like about 3 years ago when you won a league. Well, sorry, no, it wasn't. It was when you missed out on a league by 1 point when City grabbed it off you.
we were
I
flying.
Yeah, you were absolutely outstanding. Like absolutely outstanding. I was made up for you when you won a league as well. To be fair, because I think he's deserved it on that
Yeah,
year. But yeah, I used to like watching Liverpool. I used to like the style of football and stuff like that. I just don't know what's happened there.
yeah. I think football in general at the moment, John, the style seems to have dropped, doesn't it, for all the teams? I think.
Well, I think that's why we're seeing so much of a weird Premier League at the moment. I really do because obviously the style of play, how it used to be, was play out from the back. You know, I don't know who it was that brought it out. It was Pep, I think, brought it
Mm.
out. The touch football or maybe even Mourinho play out from the back, where all the other teams are kind of kicking it upfield. But I think everyone got onto that, and now everyone's kind of like it's like a game of chess, figuring out what they're gonna do to counteract that. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one at the moment. The Premier League, I just can't grasp it.
Yeah, boring to watch, it when it's like that, John.
It is. It
Very
is.
hustle and bustle. Right, we've got a little bit of a challenge for you here, John. Not too
Okay.
much. So Kurt comes on every week. He gives us some betting tips just for fun. So I'm going to ask Kurt in a minute to pick us some teams or picking some bets. But if you want, while he's doing that, would you be a good sport and pick 3 teams for the weekend for us? Just for fun.
I don't even know who's playing. I'm not going to lie.
Do you want me to read them out to you? Shall I give you the couple?
Yeah, go on then.
And then we'll give you time to think. Just a bit of thought for.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Kate will know them. Kate will know them off the top of his head. So we've got Burnley, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Sunderland, Brighton.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Everton.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Newcastle. West Ham, City. Palace, Leeds. United, Villa. Forest, Fulham. Liverpool, Spurs. And then Brentford and Wolves. So I'll let you have a little think over them, John, if you don't mind. Have a little look, see what you think. And if you fancy 3, let us know. We'll do it as a bit of a laugh, bit of interest for us.
Yeah, let's have that look.
All right. So, Kay, we'll bring you in now, mate, if that's okay. So, a bit of a tough week for us on the betting last week, Kate, wasn't it? We done the FA Cup. It wasn't all bad. What have you got for us this week, buddy?
The FA. I don't like betting the FA Cup.
Sorry, Kate. Did you want to ask John anything as well? Sorry, I went straight into the betting there.
No, I think you covered everything I thought about covering. I was going to ask about Everton's fixture list as they kind of go out for the last 9, but I need them to beat Tottenham, though. I really need Tottenham to go down. I just need to, just for the content, just for the stories, everything, I just need Tottenham to go down. So if Everton can beat Tottenham, that'd be great. But I didn't have anything else, unfortunately. As for the bets I have 3. First one's Manchester United to win against Villa. This is just more going against Villa. Again, we've been going against Villa for a bit. And Villa are just fading away, I guess is a good way to put it. Lost their last 2. They've got a pretty tough draw in the Europa League. They have Lille on both sides of this United game. And United are out of everything, so they have 2 games in like 6 weeks. And they're fresh, ready to roll. And it's a pretty good matchup for United, who have been a lot better hitting on the break and a lot better at controlling the ball and preventing teams from kind of hitting them back on the break, which Villa are going to want to do. But a really awkward spot for Villa. And again, United are just ready to roll and fresh. I think they beat Villa. Liverpool, 19 plus shots. They play Tottenham at the weekend. This is a pro Liverpool bet. I don't normally make pro Liverpool bets, but Tottenham are a bit funky in midfield at the moment, and defensively, Romero's back, but Van de Ven's gone. They don't have a ton of pace in that back line, particularly in the middle right now. And Liverpool have been, again, they do their regular slow control stuff. But when they chase games, they're 1, aggressive, 2, they kind of take a decent amount of shots from deeper. Gakpo likes some of those shots. Gravenberch likes those shots. McAllister likes those shots. And I expect Tottenham to kind of just be sitting back. So I kind of expect a decent amount of outside the box efforts there. And if Tottenham can keep Liverpool off the board for a half hour-ish, which is certainly possible, I think Liverpool will be chasing the game most of the time. And then Brentford are playing Wolves at home. I like Brentford to win that one. It's Wolves have been a fun little story over the last couple of weeks, but that has to end at some stage. They're not actually this good, and Brentford are solid, something to play for at home, and should at least grab a couple of goals here. So I like Brentford.
Brilliant. Like a Kurt, there's our 3 bets for the weekend. So, John, I'll just flip back to you. Obviously, very talented when you were younger, as we mentioned, with that video, and scored all them goals. Can you convert it to a couple of bets for the boys at the weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2 Merseyside teams. I'm gonna go for Liverpool and Everton both to win this week. I think Everton are gonna be up for it. I think we've always give Arsenal a decent game, and I think we might just scrape it against them. Not gonna lie. Liverpool need to come back after that loss last night. I think they'll give Spurs a good hiding. I'm not gonna lie. Spurs are just looking down and out at the moment. I mean, not that keeper mistake last night was pretty terrible for like it was bang out of order on them. Like, but they actually got annihilated, didn't they? 5-1 Spurs. So I think Liverpool give them a good smacking. And just for fun, I'm just going to say United.
Yeah.
I think United will be Villa. I think Villa were doing quite well in the Premier League. I'm not sure where they are in the league. I've not really looked. They was round the Champions League spots last time I looked. But United are on fire at the moment under Carrick. So I fancy United against Villa. So they're my three choices.
Nice three teams. I guess Everton would be a good price, wouldn't he, Kurt?
Yeah. I don't have the price on me, but it should be pretty good.
It'd normally be Everton home.
Probably be around 3-1, probably.
Are they home?
Oh no, Everton away, aren't they?
We're away at Arsenal,
Away,
yeah.
aren't they? Everton be a big price.
It'll be way more than 3-1 then.
I'll tell you now. Kurt, I'll get the
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Get the stats up.
9-1 if
There
you
you
went
go.
out.
9-1, John. Worth.
No, I'll have a little go with that myself.
Yeah, worth a couple of quid, isn't it? Worth a couple of quid.
Definitely.
They do like to play Arsenal tough. Those games are always pretty tight.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But listen, John, thanks for being a good sport, and especially, obviously you don't know us at all, so quick message, you're more than happy to jump on. So we really appreciate it. Sorry more the lads aren't on this week, but just a big thank you, really, mate.
No problem. Thanks for having me anytime.